If you like our content and want to see more in the future, then do yourself a favor and hit that red subscribe button right down there. Hey there dudes, what's up and welcome back to The Success. The true TV show Hardcore Pawn has been aired for 9 seasons now, and over the years, the show has had its fair share of heartfelt, humorous, and even intimate moments. However, it also has its share of tense situations and even a couple of mishaps. Many a times the guys have bought things that they've regretted buying, and other times we've seen them bought things in which they earn a lot of profit for. Let's take a closer look at some of the insane hardcore pawn purchases that you need to see for yourself. Number 1. In an episode of the show, a girl appears with some stones saying that she wants to sell them. The stones belong to her grandmother who recently died, and she was looking to procure some money for her funeral, which is why she was selling them. When Ashley took a good look at the stones, she was sure that they were nothing more than glass. However, Leslie told the girl that his gem expert was coming and he will give the stones to him for examining. Later on, when the expert came and examined the stones, he found out that a lot of the stones were made of glass, except for one. Ashley and Leslie were both shocked to find out that the one stone was actually a ruby. They were both excited and happy to tell the girl and were all set to pay her a handsome amount of money. When the girl got back, she almost cried tears of happiness upon hearing the news as she was about to get $10,000 for the ruby she brought in. Although she was thinking of getting $50 or $100, she ended up getting $10,000, which was a huge get for her.
Yes. This right here, this is a Burmese ruby.
So we'll be able to give you.
Number 2. It isn't every day that someone brings in the skull of an African elephant, and since Leslie is a huge fan of rare items, he was obviously interested in buying the skull. Leslie started to take a closer look at the skull and started to examine it. While Leslie was trying to make a deal with the owner of the skull, Seth did some research online and found out that the skull of African elephants was around $2,300. When Leslie asked the customer how much he wants to get for his rare item, he said $1,800. Seth told Leslie the current online price of the skull, and after that, Leslie told the customer that he was going to pay $600 while the customer asked for $800. Eventually, they made a deal at $700 and Leslie got the skull. However, Leslie knew that he could have easily tripled the amount at the time of selling the skull, which would have meant a huge profit.
Well,
I mean, we're not really in the elephant skull retail business, So what would you take for it? I understand you started.
Number 3. In the opening episode of Season 4, a couple came to sell a 2009 Iacocca Mustang. The owner had won it at a casino where she had been told the Mustang was worth $93,000. Seth was keen on purchasing the car for the shop, knowing it was a lifetime opportunity and the price for a limited edition Mustang could easily reach about $80,000. The customer originally asked for $95,000, while Seth countered by offering just $55,000. The man told Seth he has not accepted the offer of other people willing to pay him $60,000. The man was well aware of the rare Mustang's worth and was not willing to part ways with it for just any amount. Upon knowing this, Seth made a last offer of $66,000 and the customer agreed to the amount. This was the most expensive item purchased by Seth during the show.
Great question. What's the most expensive item that I bought at American Jewelry? That's easy. I spent $67,000 on a limited edition sports car. I haven't been able to...
Number 4. In an episode that aired in November 2012, former wrestling champion Lex Luger came to Gold's Pawn Shop. Seth was pretty excited and happy because growing up, he had been a huge fan of Luger. The former professional wrestler was looking to sell a coat out of his personal collection in order to gather some money for his non-profit organization. He told the guys that the coat was handmade and also had his name at the back. Leslie knew it was something they rarely see in the shop. Luger was willing to sell the coat for an amount that would benefit his organization. Seth started negotiations at $2,500, but when his famous customer didn't agree to the amount, Leslie quickly changed it to $3,000. Luger asked for $3,500 and said it was for charity purposes. Leslie made a pretty sweet deal while agreeing at $3,500 because it was for charity.
Well, obviously it's for a nonprofit, so as much as we can get.
It is, well,
yes, sir. I mean, obviously beauty's in the eye of the beholder, but
Right.
you guys are the experts.
Well, it's not.
Number 5. A man came to the American Jewelry and Loan Shop offering a 1976 safety white Bricklin. Leslie first confused it with the more popular DeLorean that was made famous by the 1985 movie Back to the Future. Leslie was very keen on purchasing it. There was a lot of work done on the car, which drastically lowered the car's value. The owner had acquired it 3 years ago and asked for $30,000. Leslie told the owner that he had found another Bricklin for a lot less. Eventually, the two came to an agreement that the owner would pawn the Bricklin for $7,000. For Leslie, this was one of the biggest and riskiest buys.
Beauty, 29,000 miles.
How long have you had it?
I've had this car for 3 years. I restored it, but I can't afford to hold on to this beauty because I am laid off.
This brings us to the end of our video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any more videos we put out in the future. Also, do yourself a favor by watching the 2 videos that are on your screen right now because they are most certainly worth your time. And with that, I'll be seeing you guys in the next video.